All right. Hello, accountability buddies. Um, I'm doing a little re-record here because I accidentally turned off the noise cancellation on my new microphone. So this is episode 140. I'm on my way to work. I may or may not use this audio. I might use the other one. I don't know how this microphone is going to sound because it is a new to me microphone. It was a little tinny and hollow in some of my testing, but we're gonna find out here with this. All right. So I am, like I said, on my way to work. Um, I'm not riding my bike to work, even though it is a gorgeous, perfect day for bike riding. Because my stomach has been unhappy for a few days, and I'm pretty sure it is a or was a mild case of food poisoning. Um, I talked about this in the previous episode, and so I'm not going to go into too much detail. But I think I might be able to ride in tomorrow. The other reason I didn't ride in today is because I have an appointment first thing when my day starts, and that does not give me any time to get clean um, and clean up before my buddy arrives for the appointment. Not that he would really mind if I was covered in sweat and stinking. Uh, he's a pretty cool dude. He'd be fine with it. That being said, I think it's rude to be a sweaty mess at work. Um, but that's not really the topic of discussion for today. So the topic of discussion for today is something that I brought up in yesterday's episode. And so today is episode 140. It is my 47th birthday. I'm recording this, and I'm headed into work. I already took a couple of days off for my birthday. Um, But so the topic I brought up in the last episode, and the reason I'm not checking in on the 140 episode is things are stable. I don't have another doctor's appointment to check in on, you know, my blood sugar levels, my cholesterol levels. All of that stuff is all pretty stable. We're gonna have more information later. I am not meeting with my new diabetes specialist for another 4 months, and they're gonna call me with the appointment time. And so, other than that, the topic I'm bringing up today is something I brought up in the last episode yesterday, um, and that is the idea of falling into old patterns of behavior and quitting. So I have a lengthy, lengthy history in my life of being able to stick with something for 3, 6, 9 months to a year, and then making some progress and quitting. Whether it's a exercise regime, it's a diet regime, I struggle once I get past the 6 month mark, and then the 9 month mark, and the year mark at continuing on new healthy behaviors. So I'm at, in terms of like the exercise portion of this, I'm at about 6 months. 3 months for cycling, about 6 to 9 months for the more intense walking. So I think I started, actually, I'm at almost a year. Um, I'll hit a year in November. And then I had COVID at the very end of November, early December, and that derailed me for a little while. And I've now had 2 weeks where am I haven't been able to do any riding or exercise. One week was due to weather, and this last week has been due to health, physical health reasons. So, um, and I think it's more the more extended walks and riding that I'm missing and I'm pointing to. So I did do a short ride over the weekend, but nothing. I didn't feel great doing it, and at the end of it was quite ill, which is why I'm not riding today because I don't really want to have a setback. I really want to go into this coming weekend, which is supposed to be nice. Um, Feeling good and getting hopefully a 30-mile ride in. Um, I just you know, worried that I am making excuses. Um, I'm worried that I'm going to make excuses. And maybe the fact that I'm worried about these things is good. Because if I'm worried about it, maybe I am less likely to engage in that behavior. So yeah, I that's the kind of thing that I've been like struggling with, is that this idea that I I'm gonna fall backwards. I'm gonna lose my gains. I'm gonna use those old patterns of behaviors. I'm gonna start making excuses like my friends to not do the things. And I think like part of the reason I'm so worried about this is because I've had a 2 week stretch where I haven't done much in the way of diet and exercise. Yeah, I dragged my dumbbells out to some weightlifting, and I think that's going to be key over the winter at helping me get through this. And I had a really bad luck with the trainer last year. So hopefully I can tolerate the trainer for a little more. Um, I am gonna bring my old laptop up. I'm gonna set it up. I'm gonna rig up a thing so I can have the laptop in front of the trainer. Um, and hopefully that's gonna help motivate me, and that's gonna help. Um, yeah, I'm just worried about backsliding. I'm worried about my blood sugars not being good. I'm worried about eating bad things. I'm worried about all of these things. And I'm worried about all of these things because I brought up a couple of episodes ago the idea that, when people say things to me like, you deserve a break, those are the same things that I'm saying in my head, along with a lot of negative self talk. And, as a therapist, I know negative self-talk is one of the worst things that you can do, or I can do, for my mental health. The research shows this, that negative self-talk has more impact on mental health than than someone else talking to you negatively. So the negative talk from other people has that immediate like ugh feeling, but you're able to discount it more quickly than you're able to say, well, that person's a butthole, that person's a jerk. But it's much harder to counteract negative self-talk because you believe yourself more. So that is, I am combating my own negative self-talk. I'm also like combating my old bad patterns of behavior when it comes to my own positive self-talk. So like the idea of like someone walking up to me and saying, "Hey, you deserve a break." Um, that's the kind of thing like, it's like treat yourself. Um, that treat yourself thing. Yeah, sure. Yeah, treat yourself, but also keep exercising, Leslie. Like, don't quit just because you're doing well. And that's the sort of like positive, like toxic positive or toxic positivity self talk that I would have engaged in the past. And that for me is a really hard thing to combat. It's a really, really difficult place to be mentally when I know I deserve to take care of myself. I know I deserve these things, but also I really do deserve to exercise. And I think that's a big part of the difficult thing here for me. It is that I don't inherently see exercise as a positive thing. Like, I think maybe one of the things that got to learn to say to myself is, you deserve to ride your bike today. Like treating riding my bike as a more positive thing than perhaps I have in the past. Um, that sort of like idea that these things that I am doing to take care of myself are also things that I deserve to do. I deserve to eat healthy today. I deserve to have a healthy lunch, rather than, just the idea of like, I deserve to go and buy lunch today. Because, as someone who has historically um, not necessarily seen cooking for themselves as a positive thing, like it was that was not always cooking for yourself is a drag sometimes, right? Like, and so yeah, a good home cooked meal is awesome, but what's also awesome is getting someone else to cook something for you that's, healthy. And I think the hard thing for me is that I am thinking about, I'm not necessarily thinking about the healthy things as things that I am doing for myself in a positive light. I'm not sure that makes sense in terms of like what I'm talking about, but it it makes sense in my head that part of my problem is that I don't see the healthy things as treating myself. And maybe that is something, as I'm talking this through, that I need to learn how to do. I think generally speaking, that's not an easy thing to like change that sort of mental space, so that I am um, thinking about stuff like um, eating healthy and riding my bike as a thing that I'm doing positively for me, and not just as something that I'm doing to improve my health. Because when I'm doing something to improve my health, it doesn't feel like a fun thing. Whereas I do think of riding my bike and going on adventures on my bike as a positive thing. So yeah, I think I'm beginning to have that mental shift in thinking about bike riding and exercise and hiking and walking as a positive thing for me. But with that, now that I have reshot this episode and gone way longer than I intended, the zero episodes do tend to be a little longer. I'm usually checking in on my health. So anyway, I want to say thank you for being here. Thank you for supporting my channel. Thank you for the comments and likes and all of that. I really appreciate it. I'm thinking about ways I can grow the channel, things that I can do to improve my videos. Audio is just one of them. I know sometimes my audio is a little spotty, but I don't know. I have a thought or feeling that it's better to have decent audio with some background noise that sounds real than like the super clean studio audio you sometimes hear. Um, because it sounds real and I don't sound like AI. Because I'm definitely not AI. Very against AI. For some things. But anyway, I'm gonna say thank you. Share the channel with someone. Share your favorite episode. I appreciate you, and I will see you next time.